Okay. Now my plan is to have one more work on node. But by chance, this is Windows, and this is my laptop running with this Windows 10 by chance. Okay. And I have to plan one more thing. Maybe I have to run one job, and that job require uh, this job require lots of RAM and CPU, and I don't have that much resources in my my laptop. But we have a job, and job requires, say, they require lots of RAM and CPU, and we might have run this job for limited time or maybe 1 or 10 times. So rather than I invest further on my virtual machine and buying the hardware, then I can utilize the power of cloud. So I can go to cloud and say I won't need your resources for some minutes, some hours. Just provide me one virtual machine in the cloud, or also known as instance. And for some time I want to attach your instance to my Jenkins master. So whenever we have this need come up, where we have the user, okay, where the user submit the job, and when this job need that much resources, so I will run that job in your instance. And this instance, guys, is not running in my laptop and not running in my virtual machine. This instance may be running in the cloud, let's say, because AWS is a very commonly used cloud. So let's say my instance is running in the AWS cloud. So today my plan, guys, is to show you, okay, how to connect instance from the cloud. Okay. And there might be multiple reasons also. There might be possibility if you're a multinational company, MNC company, and there might be some job from your user. For example, user is from India, and let's say based on Mumbai, and they want to run a job, and this job need some data, and we might have some kind of compliance or regulatory body. And that job requires some data, and data may based on US, and it is not allowed to get the data download from the US to India. So we can ask AWS cloud or any other cloud to launch the virtual machine in India, or sorry, in the US. Okay. And I can tell my master, whenever this kind of job come up, okay, I'll tag this job, or so-called level. I will assign this job to some level, and level would be this node. For example, this is the node number 3. And that is the reason it is always good practice when you give the launch the node, always give a proper name. And there's also one more option called labels. So I'll show you guys today how to set the labels. So we can provide the labels and say this node is Linux node in US, Linux node in data center 1, data center 2, for this one, XYZ kind of labels you can do. So while launching the job, we can tag any computer that has a label called US or AWS cloud. You have to go and find by yourself and launch the job there. So any kind of use case you guys might have. This randomly I'm taking 2 different use case here, but my main plan here is to create a multi-node cluster where this machine, one Windows machine, and one machine will launch from AWS cloud. Okay, so let's do this practical very quickly, then we'll see uh, to run some job here. So this particular computer would be my um, uh, your Jenkins master, and this computer in my case would work as a slave. I showed you guys yesterday how to launch the slave and run some job there. Okay, and yesterday I also explained you a concept of executors. Okay, so you can plan this system allowed to only run 2 jobs, this system allowed to run 4 jobs. So 4 job means 4 jobs in parallel. That's called executors. You can plan. A lot of guys yesterday asking me how to plan, how many executors need. So guys, it's not a small thing. It's based upon application to application also. Okay, what kind of application you are launching as a developer, as a user of, or the owner of that particular application. Application means job. Okay, so in the job you might have 10 steps, so you should have to properly plan how many resources going to consume in this job by some testing, or the multiple applications available in the market. Okay, and accordingly, let's say this application might consume total 2 GB RAM they're gonna consume at one point in time, and this VM has 4 GB RAM available. So I think two job might be enough. So other calculation also we have. I don't want to move the direction, but so so based upon the need to need, job to job, how much RAM, CPU, hard disk they're gonna consume, accordingly, that much executor you can provide there. Okay, there's a planning process. You can properly plan and design there accordingly. But right now, my focus here is more about sorry, how to uh, have multiple node, and all the worker node are from a different environment. Okay, and so let me launch this one also to have the complete cluster ready. Okay, by the meantime they launch. This is my Jenkins computer. Okay, and what I'm doing here, uh, I'll just first go and quickly check my IP address. So IP address this system is again same. They might change, but they change same. So at this particular IP address, my Jenkins server running, but now this server also work as a Jenkins master. Jenkins master. So in now my guys plan here is simple. What I want this master have a connectivity with the Windows. That's what I want. So how to connect? Again, the logic is the same exactly. Why I want to launch? You know the answer. I need one more slave. That's a worker node. Means I will asking my Windows provide all of your resources to me. RAM, CPU, hard disk, and plus all the command and program or any of the environment you have just provide to me. Okay, that's the meaning of slave and the worker node. But how to connect? Again, they follow the same logic. Okay, your Jenkins master have a program. This program is written in Java. Okay, so this program we have to send to this guy. After we send this program here, we have to execute this program. And by some guys, this program is known as agent. So technically, in the Jenkins world, right, if any slave want to connect to master, or I can say if master want to assign any job to the slave, in any of the cases, slave have to run one program, and that program is Java program. But typically in this world, it is known as agent program. So Jenkins guys cluster work on the agent based setup. They require agent to have a connectivity. Okay, this part I already explained you yesterday. But yesterday, guys, because I had a Red Hat system, and in the Red Hat system or Linux system, if any computer want to transfer any program, and from other system they want to run that program, we have a SSS support normal. Not always, but normally. Using the SSS, we can guys transfer the program like a Java program here or agent program here, and we can also execute this. Okay, and that is guys yesterday for the master system we have set up this system as a worker node. But by chance in Windows they don't have SS support by default enabled. They support, they have a way, but normally we don't use SSS in Windows. Okay, so technically if you want to configure any Windows computer to work as a Jenkins worker node, so from your Windows you have to manually go to master and ask the master to provide this Java Java what is it Java program. It's called agent program. And after you download this first step, then Windows has to run this program by themselves. So in the Windows computer, you have to do this process normally manually. Okay, but how they communicate? So normally, guys, whenever any agent want to communicate to, or especially Windows agent want to communicate to the Jenkins master, for what? For registering or maybe for getting any job in the future. That's what the slave meant for. Okay, so again we require some kind of protocol. So here they use a protocol called JNLP. So JNP is a one protocol that Windows use uh, here to connect with the master. Okay, it's a Java protocol. If you see Jenkins JNLP, so this is a protocol, guys, used by your Windows system. Right? So Windows system. So guys, again, very some subside here. So if master want to connect to agent, the protocol normally agent use either SSS, normally in the Linux system, or normally in Windows system they use JNLP protocol. So this is a protocol, guys, behind the scene they use. Okay, so that's what, guys. So that's the only thing you should know for connecting the Windows to the master. Or if you want Windows to be a slave system, that's the only thing you need. Okay, and one more thing by chance you need, because Windows is going to download this code, and this code is based on Java. So in your Windows you should have a Java JDK with you. Okay, Java environment with you. So right now this is my Windows I'm going to use. So in my Windows I need Java. So if I check my version, so I don't have, sorry, I have Java, but let me use hyphen here. So in my computer, guys, I already have version 8 of Java. This again, the hotspot means the Oracle Java I have. So in Windows, you require Java or JDK or Java environment, I can say, or technically I'm saying runtime environment, would be better word. Okay. So if you don't have, you won't able to connect. Okay. Because finally you have to run your program. Okay. So you need Java in your Windows. Okay. But if you go to Red Hat version 8 that I used yesterday, this system. Okay. So this system, guy, I used yesterday to work as a worker node. So what I'm trying to tell you here is show you before I show you the Windows setup. Okay. And by the meantime they launch, let me go and open my manage Jenkins, and I would like to go again to my cluster. Okay, my slave is up. Okay, this slave, which is this slave, is this system. Slave is up. And right now, if you see the IP, again, the same system I configured yesterday, IP 1.5, this system is working as a slave. And this is my Red Hat system. If you see in the Red Hat system, do you have Java here? I have actually. Understand one thing, okay? It doesn't matter, guys, that you have Windows or Linux or Mac or Unix or FreeBSD, whatever the OS you have. If you want to make any computer a slave of your Jenkins server master, you need Java. Okay, you guys has a confusion. Maybe you might also have the way I explained you. Okay, because they feel Red Hat, because this Linux system they use SSS, and because they use SSS, why we need Java. So understand one thing, guys. SSS we use only for one purpose: to send the program and to run the program. That is the only use of SSS. Or by chance, if none of the if your Linux system doesn't support SSS, most of Linux system don't have. Okay, at that time, guys, we have to do the same thing that what we are doing in the Windows. We have to manually download the agent program and manually run it from my worker node. Okay, but by chance we have the SS support, so we use SSS to transfer. But after my program downloaded here or my agent program downloaded here, this program is purely based on Java, so we need Java runtime or Java program to run this program. Okay, so any of the OS you have, right? If you want to create as a worker node, you need Java there. So by chance in my system I had Java, it is working. So my guys, if you try the same practical and you're facing any issue in terms of slave connectivity, okay, just go and check, do you have the Java node? If you not have, just please go and install it. That's the only thing you have to do. Okay. And one more thing I want to show you here is, if you run the process command here and search for any process running in the Java, okay, what you see here, okay, one Java program is running, okay, and what they're doing, they are using this workspace. Okay, why? Because yesterday I have configured while configuring this node gonna use this as a root direct. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you guys here, in this IP, there's some agent is running that will be transferred with the help of SSS, and the name of the agent is remoting jar. This is just the name of the program actually. So this is the agent name that is running in my worker node. So if I terminate this process, if I kill this process, your node will disconnect. Okay, but because this is Java program, right? That's the reason I need Java command. If you don't have a Java command or Java runtime, you won't able to run it, and finally it will fail. So that's also one more thing I want to tell you. And who starts this program? First of all, who transfer this program? Right? SSH. And who start this program? SSH protocol, because they support by chance in Linux. For Windows, we don't have SSH, so you do manually download this program and go to manually start this program. Okay, so that's what I want to tell you here. But if you if you disconnect or if you delete this agent, technically it means this program will stop behind the scene. Okay, if you want to test this, just go and test also. So now, guys, plan is to have one more node. How? Just go to same screen, click on the node. Let's say this is the node 2, or maybe I can use this as my Windows 1. Okay, and again, it's my permanent agent. What is permanent? When I go for guys dynamic, it's very powerful concept. I will explain you from a cloud configure. Very interesting. I will explain in my upcoming class. It requires some Docker and some other concept also. I think, guys, from our side, we have shared you some Docker classes. A lot of practical in my future classes will be based on Docker. Okay, so I highly suggest those who don't know about Docker. So those 2 classes we have shared with you would be enough to have the core idea how Docker works. Okay, without having this knowledge, maybe you might have stuck something in the further explanation in my some advanced discussion. Okay, so I'll go for Windows node, and here you can plan this for 2 repository, and let me use root directory, let's say something just for test Windows, some directory name, or maybe I can use slash here. Okay, so this one we have, and now launch method would be obviously SSH we can't use, so we're asking your Windows, so do one thing, launch agent by connecting the master. Okay, so means you Windows as a worker node, come to master, download the agent and run it the way I explained. So this is the normal launch method we use. So guys, again, is a game of how you're launching. Okay, so let me guys share you this screen in your Jenkins training. So I'm creating the today's document. Okay, so 1 minute. So this is the only option you have to do. Okay, and anything else right now, there's no SS further thing required, right? And let me save. So this node is connected, but right now, guys, if you notice here, in this configuration, if you again go inside this configuration, we haven't provided any of the IP, because I don't know what is the IP of the Windows, because master is not going to connect to the Windows the way I use in Linux. Windows will come to me. So what is the IP of Windows, or in my case, my laptop, it doesn't require. Right. So technically, This node is not up yet. But if you click here, they are very clear. Wherever you want to run this agent, okay, they require GNV port to be disabled. Agent can't connect to this way. One minute. So there's some kind of security concern right, they have. They said they won't able to connect. So there's some security configuration screen you have to change. Okay, let me explain what is this. So there's some concept, guys, about security. In my upcoming class, I will talk about what the meaning of this security. Right now, I'm disabling this security. What I mean by this, I will explain you in my upcoming classes. So what is security realm? What is the security for authentication authorization? I will discuss, guys. So anybody who know about IAM, so it is something like this. Right now, for some quicker connectivity, I'm just disabling the security, but we'll guys talk about the security in upcoming classes. Okay, so one minute. If I disable this, what's happening? Let me 1 minute, please. Let me restart my service. Okay, and 1 minute, guys, list, because after restart, my Java process takes some second to launch. Afterwards, I'll go here, and then we have a connectivity. Okay, so they're launching. So what is the security issue? We will definitely discuss in upcoming class of Jenkins and the security part, right? But again, I think I don't know why this issue is again coming. So 1 minute. Is this some more internal file of Jenkins? I am again enabling the security. Okay, this is the file actually where we enable and disable the security. Guys, we'll talk about the security in upcoming class. I don't want to mess with this file right now. What I'm doing, I have another computer here to show you this demo quickly. All right. So I'll check maybe some, I think in this system. Okay. So give me 1 minute. Let me the system launch. Okay. Because there's one more concept of Crumb actually. So what is this? I think I forget to enable and disable that feature. So they don't have option come up. So might have to change something in this file. We'll we'll talk this file afterwards, right? So right now, I just want to focus more on this part of how to connect with the slave node. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. Let this system come up, and this system. Just give me 1 minute, please. So by the meantime, I'm doing one more thing here. It save our time. So how to connect is so simple. I might have disabled enable some wrong feature here of authentication part. Maybe I'll check with other system that is working fine. And so by chance, guys, I'm doing one more thing here. I'm launching one more node in one of our cloud. Now it is your choice. You want to launch in the cloud, public cloud, private cloud, in your data center. It will be anywhere, right? but by chance, most of guys actually are comfortable with AWS cloud. Okay, so I'm launching one instance in AWS cloud, but whatever you want to launch, that will be your choice. Okay, so I consider you have a basic idea of AWS, so I'm launching my one instance in AWS cloud. Okay, so this is the URL of some cloud over here, and I have the account. Guys, this is the some extra demo I'm showing you just for extra knowledge. If you want to test, you can test, right? Okay, so by the way, I'm doing to multiple things parallel to save the time. So this is one system I have. I have already one Jenkins running. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm just checking the IP address of the system. By chance IP is 1.3. Let me connect to 1.3. They don't have connectivity. I think there might be firewall issue. Let me stop the firewall. Okay, and also disable it permanent. Or we can write the firewall rules to allow port number 8080. That would be your choice. Okay, so in this step, I disable all the security by chance because we'll talk about security later on. And so by chance, in this setup, if I show you and manage Jenkins, okay, I've disabled a lot of securities here, and there's some plugins also to manage the crump or chorus or other things also we'll discuss about in security part. So right now, if I go to node here, okay, let me add a new node the same way, and this is the Windows node, let's say 1 permanent. Okay. Okay, and again use the two executor remote directory. Again, let's say test Windows, the some directory 1, right? And the main thing is launch method. And I'm going to launch with the same way, launch agent via connecting to master. Same, we have more also, we'll see in the future, but this is the way I would like to launch. Okay, otherwise everything is same exactly the way I did there. Admissive. Okay, and if I come here, guys, this screen will come up, right? After you disable all the setup. I show you guys how to I disable here in a minute. But so the guys, this is the screen come up. And they say now any of the computer, maybe Windows or Mac or Linux, any of the computer, if you want to connect to my setup, this is the command you have to run. Okay, what this command will do, two things. One, they first download the agent. Okay, and then after download, this command will run the agent program for you. So two things, guys, they will do for you. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm clicking, copying this command. I'll go to my Windows, okay, and paste this command here. So what this command will do, it will connect to this IP, this port number, because my Windows is able to connect to this IP because running in my same VM, my same laptop. They first download this program, is a Java program, and we will provide to this command, and they will run it for for us. Okay, so let me connect. Okay, so when you connect, guys, this screen come up, and they say we are going to connect to Jenkins with some of remote agent program. That's what we are running here. Do you want to run? I say yes. Guys, if you see here, behind this the unit JNLP protocol, right? Right, and they're trying to identify, and finally they are connected. Okay, so my application has connected behind the scene, and because they are connected, it means if I go back to the list, you can see now this is connected, and they auto detected my Windows 10 and the sync with me. So now we have one more node that's called Windows node connector. So so simple. Only requirement is right now is to have Java in the Windows. In Jenkins side, there's some security we have disabled, but we will, when I go for IAM or other security discussion, we will discuss those security, we will enable, and again I'll try to connect, then it will connect for us. But we have to do a lot of changes in realm and other things also. I don't want to discuss in today's class. Okay. So this is what we can create. And now because node is created, one more worker node we have, we can assign the job the way I did yesterday. But good thing is this is a Windows node, so whatever you have in the Windows, so those resources you can use. Maybe you have .NET framework, you have a Python different version, maybe you have a different program in the Windows. So those programs and resources of the Windows you can use in your job. Okay, that's what I want to show you here very quickly. Okay, and we now Windows will have two executors they provided to us. Okay, this one thing. One small thing I just want to show you here is okay, in my security tab. Okay, not here actually. Want to show you something. Okay, so in the secure time tab, guys, I just forget to only update one thing. You have to click on anyone can do anything. I think this is the part I forget to update there. This is the only part I think I forgot. That was, guys, that system was having this error. So you have to disable none, and also, guys, change the setup to anyone can do anything. Okay, in your system. If you forget, don't worry. I can go inside the conf file. We can also change there. We'll talk about those files. We can change from the file also. Okay, but while you're doing this practical, just disable all the security. Give none in the authentication part, and authorization part. You can type anybody can do anything. Then the error that you are having, it won't come up. Obviously, security disabling is not a good thing, but just for initial setup, checking up, we are doing it. But after we have IAM discussion, we will talk about this part and we'll also enable. Then also after this, we can again connect. Okay, this is the one thing you have to do. Okay, and just confirm that your Chrome Azure is default, is there by default, but you don't have to change here. But the only thing you have to do is this to setup and then save it. Okay, so go to your manage Jenkins. Again, I'm repeating, go to global, configure global security, and here just do none, and anyone can do anything. Okay, there's two things you need. Okay, now finally we have a one more node connected, and this node is the Windows. How to connect Linux node we have already discussed yesterday, but these node are static node. What I mean by this, in my upcoming class, maybe after 2 or 3 days, I'll show you how to create a dynamic nodes. Okay, means as the job launch, as job come, after job come, my OS will launch. But right now, if you see here, my Linux node is keep on running. I am not using this node, but it's still there running. Or maybe I will go and launch one node in AWS cloud. You don't need, they keep on running, they keep on charging you. Okay, that's not a good thing, but maybe sometime we might need. But nowadays the fashion is you need a dynamic node. So in my upcoming class, when you guys comfortable with Dockers, right, I will explain you how to launch the dynamic node with the help of Dockers, right? So there's a different point. But right now, what I'm trying to show you very quickly, one more practical. Okay, just for one thing. Okay, guys, right now your agent is keep on running. If you close the agent in the Windows, and if you again go to manage Jenkins and again go to manage node, it is disconnected. It means your agent should keep on running in the Windows. And get that easy reason, there's one more option here called headless. So if you run this command is keep on running the agent in the front, in your screen, right? Okay, in the foreground. But if you want, your agent will run, but in the background, it's called headless. And for this, we have a different program. So this is the command they have. Okay, so we can use any command to connect, but this will run your agent in the foreground. I don't like my agent is keep on running in the screen, so you can use this command. okay, in your Windows or maybe in other OS also. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay, so but only thing is we need this jar file for this. So I don't have this jar file. Okay, so there's a one link they normally provide. I think here, yeah. So if you click here, keep right somewhere. I think 1 minute. You have this file you have to download. Maybe you can find this file in Jenkins repository also. Okay, or maybe I have already downloaded. I'll share this file to you. The file is called agent. Okay, so this file you need actually to connect. So in my case, this file I already have. I share this file, but I think somewhere they normally give the link here. I think this is the link actually. Not normally here. This is a link. So click here, download, keep this file, and wherever you download it, run the command there. So in my case, I download my download folder. I go in the same location, run it, and if I see here, we have successfully connected. And here we're using the protocol called GNLP protocol. Okay, it is connected. Okay, and now if you see, this is again connected. So the multiple way you have is now it's connected. Okay, so they are running. You can put this program in the background also. So this is one thing. Now, very quickly, let me show you one more practical, pretty straightforward. This is my AWS cloud. This is the service called EC2. So anybody who don't know AWS, after you create the account, if you want to test this, or with GCP cloud or Azure cloud, just go to a service called EC2. It's a one service through which you can launch the OS. Okay, and I can just click and launch the OS. This is called instance here. You can use a Linux or Windows machine, whatever you feel like. So I'm going to use as an Amazon Linux machine. It's one kind of Linux again. I click select. Okay, and use some RAM and CPU. I just go for one CPU, 1 GB RAM. Okay, click next. Nothing special here. Next, next. Okay, and by chance again, I'm enabling all the firewall again, so that we don't have issue of firewall issues, and launch. That's all. And while launching this OS, they're asking you, do you want to attach some private key like a password? Okay, and obviously we need, right? Because finally, what I want, okay, when my master transfer the program to this Linux machine via SSH, they need a username and they need a password. If you don't have a password, how master can connect? Okay, or maybe your node can go to master and download whatever way you want. Okay, but right now I'm going to use the same method that I used in my first node. I'll tell my master, you go to this instance, transfer the program via SSH. So I will provide you username and the password. But by the guys, in the AWS cloud, instead of password, they use a private key. So that's what we are using here. So I'm using a private key here. So you can go and create a new private key if you want. Let's give my key for Jenkins, whatever key name you want to give, and download the key. So the key is downloaded and then launch. So this is the Linux instance. This system have one username. This system has password, and password here is your private key. Okay. The only thing what I need here is I'll tell my Jenkins that I'm going to add one more node. Let's say this is my AWS Linux node. Okay, I'll give any name here, and this node is a Linux. Okay, so I want to connect this node with SSH. One more thing, I will provide the IP address of this node. Okay, and IP address of this node is, if you click in this name, they give the IP address. This is the IP of the node. And just one thing, when we are in the private world, and this instance running in the cloud in the public world, so you have to use a public IP to connect. Otherwise, you don't have a connectivity. So I provide this IP address. Okay, and this IP address is they require username password, and for this I'm going to add new username password here. Okay, but this time, guys, my username is the username, but password is not password. We have to use SSS private key. So this one we have to use. Okay, private key. And here, by chance, if you talk about if you see the document of the AWS, they say if you launch this OS, they give you pre-created username. This is called EC2 user. It's a fixed name. You can change also afterwards after login. But this is the username they have. And what is the private key? I already downloaded, so I can click and add my private key here. Okay, so uh, 1 minute. So I have to open my private key. This is the entire key I have. I'll copy and I paste over here. That's all. Okay. So finally, this has been added, and that's all. And let me add. So for this IP, I need SS protocol, and I need this username and the private key. And because we are doing SS, first time when you do SS, they will send me public key yes or no. I told you yesterday already, so I'm doing this verification no. So we don't have any issue come. Okay. Otherwise, everything is same. There's no technical difference, and you can give some workspace name here. Okay. And I want this will have a 3 executor, for example. Okay. And so, guys, when I launch this OS, you have 3 executor, and they will launch the agent there. Okay. You might see some small difficulty here in launching. Okay. So if you see the log, the authentication is successful. There is no challenge. So from my local laptop, I've connected to this system. I know the IP, the SSA is enabled there, and I know the username password for my key. Everything is right. So authentication is successful, and afterwards you see, right, there's one error come up. They say because we transfer the agent to you, but for the agent I need Java. I told you guys that time, if you don't have a Java, thing won't work and connection fail. Okay, so nothing special. You just again go and launch the Java there. Okay, so how to launch the Java? Nothing special. This is a normal OS. You can log into this OS and install the Java initially. Okay, so by chance AWS provide a way to connect directly here. I can directly connect to this OS from the web page. Okay, and I can log in here with a root account. And they already have yum setup. You don't have to set up here. And let me install JDK, or I think Open JDK software they might have. I don't know. Let me check other version they have. They don't have. Let me check other name they might have. So 1 minute. So either transfer the software and install it, or let me check. Yeah, they have the software with this name, or maybe this name. So let me install this one, Java 1.8 something. Okay, now this is not the Oracle Java. This is the open source Java. It's called Open JDK. Okay, I'm not pretty sure this version they support or not. You can read the document. This version of Jenkins does the support this version of Java, of Oracle, of Open JDK. But most probably they might support, right? So in this case, I now have Java come up. This is not a hot spot. This is the Oracle JDK Java. And that's the only need I have. Again, I'll go back to my Jenkins. Again, I go to this instance. Again, I ask to launch the agent. The connection successful. There is no challenge because this is public IP. We are in the private world, but private world can connect to public IP. There is no challenge. Okay, and here again one more very small issue come up because we are asking to have this as a directory for workspace. I don't have there, so I told you guys yesterday this directory we should have. Okay, that is what I created here. Okay, and let me again go back to the list and let me launch my agent again. Okay, and uh, could not copy this into this agent. Okay. One more issue, guys, you have a permission denied. Why? Very simple reason, guys. By chance, this directory is this very Linux things is owned by a root user, and I log in with EC2-user. They don't have power to copy. So there's one small thing you can do here. You can change the ownership of this folder to this one. Now this folder has a complete power by this user, because Jenkins behind the scene use this account to log in, right? That's what they're talking about. They're talking about you don't have permission to copy. Okay, so this permission denied the command. So small guys, by looking at the error, I can directly fix the error one go, but I just want to show you all the error is happening here. And now see, guys, it's starting STP. What I mean by this, so guys, if you know SS behind the scene use SCP or SFTP to transfer the program. So first they transfer this program to your cloud instance. After the file transfer, this agent program, after agent program transfer, okay, then they start the agent. This command they use behind the scene. I show you my local system also. So they run this program, and after they run the program, my agent has been started and online. Okay, so it means if I go to this system, my node is live. Okay, now we have two nodes or maybe three nodes. Let's say this is the node local Linux VM. This is the node Windows local. This is the node again Linux, Amazon Linux running somewhere on the cloud. By chance, it is running in my where in Mumbai. Otherwise, you can launch anywhere in the world. Okay. Now let's very quickly create one job. Okay, and let me run the job called, let's say, job 11 freestyle. Okay, and what I'm asking this job, I'm asking this job to do something for me. Okay, let's just run one basic command, and I'm asking this job do one thing, run some command, and run this command. Let's say I want to run a command called mkdir just for testing, and run this command. Create a folder in temp folder. Let's say folder name is called Vimal. That's all, Vimal Linux World. Okay, so whenever we run this job, this command run, and this command will create a directory. Obviously, there's no meaning for this job. I just want to test my program is working or not. Okay, but I'm sticking this job that I show you already in my node, right? And the node is AWS node. It means from your local Jenkins master, you're asking that this job only gonna run in this node. Okay, that's all. And I save it. Okay, the job is not yet run at all. But before I run my job, let me show you. This is the node running in the cloud. And in my temp folder, I don't have a directory with the name of Vimal Linux folder. Okay, now I'm clicking on the build now. This job is, I am a user, and I have tell my Jenkins again running in my laptop, okay, to run this job. And this job we have allocated, this job should be run in one of the data center instance running somewhere in the AWS cloud. And it was run successfully. If you see the output, the job is by anonymous because I have disabled all the security here. That's the different point, but they run only in this computer. And it was success. So I can very quickly check also, right? You can see this folder is created. Okay, it means you are working fine. So this is the guys, just a practical of folder created, but main intention is not about folder creation. The main intention here is now we have a complete flexibility. Okay, whenever you run the job, you can decide where you want to run the job. Okay, maybe you have a job is big job that require a lot of RAM and CPU. You don't want to invest the upfront amount. You can launch the instance there. Or maybe guys, if you know anything about AWS, so they or this kind of cloud, they have a concept called spot instances. So you can ask for big instance with cheaper price, and they won't always give you. They shut down at any point in time. It's called support instances, save up to 90%. You run your job. If they're available, launch it. Otherwise, that's okay. Okay, and other facility guys you can also achieve, right? I explaining you multiple example. Maybe in my laptop I don't have. Okay, for example, in AWS cloud, right now let me check if they have. I can show you one more practical very quickly. So this AWS cloud. Let me check does AWS has a Docker or not. By chance they don't have, but maybe they might have Docker there. So I can create a job. They will do something for me just for testing. Maybe guys don't. Not everybody has a Docker knowledge, but just I'm doing one very quick test. I'm installing one Docker program. Okay, very quickly in my AWS cloud. Okay, not everybody know the Docker, but just showing you very quickly. So this Docker software I'm installing here, and I'm starting the service on my Docker. Docker started, and anybody who know about Docker, with the Docker we can launch a OS or called container. And right now I don't have a container here. Now I want to launch a container. Okay, but I don't want to launch the container from my command line. I want to create a job in the Jenkins. Okay, so what I'm doing here in the same job, well, let me create one more new job. Let's go job 12. Okay, and what I want, wherever this job run, they run the Docker container for me. So anybody who know Docker is a very simple command, dit. Every OS we give a name called OS1. If you're going to launch this Docker from an image called HTTP, this is one of the images available in the Docker Hub. Okay, so what this command will do, this command will launch the Docker. But by chance, if you select this project run in Windows, or by chance my Windows doesn't have a Docker command available, okay, you know what happened? If I click here and build, this job gonna run in my Windows, and Windows don't have a Docker command because they don't have Docker support or some XYZ technology support, so they fail. Because by chance I accidentally, or maybe by my Jenkins scheduler, schedule the job here. And this time don't have this command, so they fail. Okay, so there is, guys, we have multiple environment. Windows we keep for other purpose. AWS cloud instance we keep for other purpose. So if you have any job related to Docker, just for example, so we can ask the project, just always run your job, always run your job in the AWS cloud, because that guy has that support, because we enable that support. Okay, we can run there. Save. And now again build my project. Because AWS cloud has Docker support, they will run. They fail due to maybe other region of permission. But technically, okay, they say I know I have the Docker, but there's some issue of permission. That is the reason it failed. And the permission reason is simple, guys, because right now I'm running all of my command in AWS cloud with EC2 user that has limited power. Okay, so for this, what small thing we can do, anybody who know Linux, so we can give some user root power with a sudo command. Okay, and save. And if I again run, okay, so they are going to AWS, and if you see, guys, job is still running. Because we asked my job to run only in the AWS cloud, and guys, now it's pure blue. You can see automatically this command run. Anybody who know this command normally first download the image if you don't have, and then finally launch for you. It means if I go to AWS cloud, last time I don't have any OS running, but now your OS started. So without coming to this OS, everything I'm managing from one single instance. So entire, maybe guys, don't worry if you don't know Docker. Don't focus more in Docker. But my intention here is to show you, right? You have hundreds of computers running, right? Every computer has different facility or programs and facilities. Okay, but every computer we can manage from the Jenkins. Okay, and based upon the requirement, based upon the job, we can allocate our job to that particular computer. This job need Docker, launch here. This job need .NET, launch here. This job needs some basic things to launch, or database or machine learning or Python, launch this node. An entire setup we are managing, controlling, or I can say automaticing from here only. Or I can say automation from here only, right? Obviously, there's no meaning to run only command. There's a lot of steps we can do: build triggers, environment, build, post build. We'll see, guys, those things. So there's a not big thing, but having this setup ready is the important part that I showed you. Okay. So again, it's a great practical. So again, it's not about AWS. It OS will be anywhere in the world. We can connect very easily. A good thing is all the OS in the world support Java. You just install the Java uh, runtime or Java JDK there. Okay, that's all. This is more than enough for Jenkins to connect. Okay, so guys, try to do this practical. Pretty straightforward, nothing special. But this command is so simple. If you guys go through my Docker first lecture, we have done a lot of things in the Docker in my lectures, right? So that's all for guys from my side for today. We'll see some different concept of Jenkins from tomorrow, right? Any uh, uh, question, guys, if you have, you can ask me. Somebody asked me, Janishi, here is Cameron. We admire you a lot, and Indian view for having such a great teacher mental likes and northwest and southwest part of the country. Uh, Janish Khan, I think I am pronouncing your name very properly. I am doing all of my campaign for the betterment of human being, right? This is always my first priority. By some of the campaign, due to some reason, I have to open only for Indian students. There's a different reason for this, but I will taking a screenshot of your entire point you write here. I will definitely read, and I'll definitely update what are you asking you. Okay, so that's one thing. Finally, my queries are maybe, so with what you're asking, maybe today's lecture might cover this. What difference JDK, JVM, GRE? So guys, in my upcoming classes, obviously not in this training, but if you, Abhishek, if you're from Earth, when I start Java there, I will explain you the difference in these terms. Okay. Uh, this one thing. So how can we see the job running inside the slave? Yes, yes, Manish, you can see very clearly. It's a process actually. Behind the scene, they run the process. Okay, very quickly, if you want to see here, okay, let me run one more job here, and let me run the job called sleep 55 second. Okay, let me comment this job. This is normal shell script. I can comment, save, and I can build. So my job is running on the cloud. So I can go to my this system and I can run the PS command and search for sleep. You can see, guys, this is how I started. Who started this? My Jenkins started. So with the PS command or process command, we can see your job is running or not. Okay. Job is just a way to manage. But internally, they run the commands for you, or internally they run the GitHub command or Git command or Maven command, whatever you put in the job, they run for you. Okay. After your job complete, you will see this stop, and here you can see the status that your job has been finished. This is still going on, but after the finish, you can see it is also stopped. Okay, so this is one of the way you can check. So what is different? Oh, Java and Open Java. Actually, Abhishek, there's a multiple company who has their own Java. I